Among the 20 thematic categories constituted in this research, the so-called aggressiveness was the one that had the highest occurrence. In this discursive formation, the burly characters are portrayed as irritable, angry, aggressive, violent, impulsive, reactive to aggression. This type of association between irascible behavior and corpulence is quite old in history, found since antiquity, when they related to the medicine of moods, linking this body characteristic to the blood profile. Over the course of the 20th century, however, these conceptions will apparently change, as currently there are no such discourses. In silent cinema, on the other hand, the 82 excerpts found present a discourse with a strong discursive consistency. It is worth mentioning, however, that in most cases, aggression was a reaction to some disrespect, offense or previous damage inflicted by the thin protagonist clown. But there were also cases where this aggression was gratuitous and without justification. To illustrate this category, excerpts from 12 films were selected. In the first of them, from the film Tom Tight et Thumb Dumb, from 1903, by Georges Méliès, two characters are on a stage. One has a large filling in the trunk. Both dance, seeking to attract the attention of the audience of spectators. The burly man, then, gets irritated with the thin man, trying to call him. Failing that, he sits down and resentfully observes the other for a brief period, until he gets up and practices a series of aggressions against his partner. In Charles Chaplin's The Knockout, 1914, Roscoe Arbuckle, the chubby man, as his nickname, plays a strong and good-natured young man. In the passage, another man hits on his girl and still gestures to imply that he is paunchy. He reacts extremely aggressively to offenses and disrespect. Then again, the villain harasses the young lady, while the Arbuckle character was absent. When he sees it, he becomes enraged and sets off for a physical confrontation with his rival. In the fight, the chubby man is superior and, at times, furious. After beating him and throwing him away, the rival and his teammates start to throw stones at the winner. Despite being in greater numbers, Arbuckle's character still wins the race. in Masquerader, from the same year and from Chaplin, although the character of the vagabond disturbs the scene and still pokes him in the buttocks, the burly actor does not react aggressively. Even when she is a fat woman, as in Chaplin's 1915 burlesque on Carmen, when offended in some way, the reaction is aggressive and violent. In this case, the pride hurt by Carmen having seduced her suitor leads the chubby woman to call her rival for a physical duel, in which she ends up losing, despite her aggressiveness. Likewise, in Chaplin's 1921 The Idle Class, a burly golfer rages at another player who plays with his ball. He runs after the other and kicks him with a jump in the back, subsequently riding on top of the victim and throwing a series of punches in the face. Aggressiveness and violence are prolonged for some time, while Chaplin's character uses another paunchy character as a screen to put his ball. Also in the films directed and carried out by Arbuckle himself, his characters were aggressive, furious and violent. In his wedding night, of 1917, for example, he becomes enraged and shows extreme violence towards one of the rivals, throwing him easily to the other side of the bar. Also, at the end of the film, when he realizes that he was deceived by the character of Keaton, who pretended to be a bride, he gets aggressive, catches him by the hair and throws him to the other room easily. In No, Doctor. From 1917, the Roscoe character gets nervous and attacks his son, played by Keaton, simply because he wants his attention. In 1918 Out West, All the Fatty's aggressiveness is expressed with the use of a gun, in which he shoots everywhere, against several men who are at the bar. Also, Buster Keaton, when directing his own films, will represent the burly as aggressive. In Convict 13, from 1920, for example, the corpulent actor Joe Robert acts as an inmate, villain, aggressive, intimidating, and violent. He is irritated by the jailer's surveillance and initiates a series of violence against several policemen. In total, he knocks down 13 policemen, punching them in the head. In 1922's The Blacksmith, the same burly actor plays the role of a blacksmith. He clashes with 5 men, punching and kicking them without any of them being able to hit him. The superiority of strength and the fury of the fat guy is only contained through the insight of the character of Keaton. After knocking him down, the 6 men unite to contain the pot-bellied man. In Eisenstein's 1925 strike, the factory director's aggression against strikers will be directed as objects. The bills keep coming and he rages. Throw the wine away, hit the glass on the table. Throw the beads on the table, driving a knife into them. Finally, he throws a chair down the stairs and then kicks another one. The comic duo Hardy and Laurel will follow a similar pattern of representation. In The Lucky Dog, from 1921, the fat man plays the role of villain, aggressive, violent, threatening another man with a gun, although not at all perceptive. Then he tries to grab the girl by force and, when stopped by the other man, aggressively and mercilessly attacks her. Also, finally, in the finishing touch of 1928, the fat character reacts aggressively against the thin person for no reason. When resting on a board, it breaks under its weight. He rages and runs after the skinny man, who was nearby.